Hello, my name is Dr. Mehmet Kentel, the Research Project Manager at the Istanbul Research Institute and a postdoctoral fellow at ANAMED in this academic year. I'm an urban and environmental historian of the late Ottoman Empire and the managing editor of Yıllık Annual of Istanbul Studies. At ANAMED, I will be working on my book project, tentatively titled Assembling Pera, an Environmental History of Late Ottoman Istanbul. This project is based on my dissertation that I finished in 2018 at the University of Washington's Near and Middle Eastern Studies program under the supervision of Professor Reşat Kasaba. Istanbul's environment has become a rallying point for academics and activists in recent years, especially at the intersection of globally shared concerns around climate change, local struggles over mega infrastructural projects at the city's edges, as well as the destruction of its green spaces. As the environmental history of the Ottoman Empire and the Middle East has proved to be one of the fastest growing subfields of the profession, urban historians of the Ottoman capital have uncovered environmental themes such as food and water provision, fires, earthquakes, etc., from the city's past, motivated by the developments in contemporary Istanbul as well as trends in the fields. However, very scant attention has been given to exploring the dynamics of environmental making of Istanbul in different periods. Perhaps partially as a result of their justified desire to distance themselves from Istanbul centricism of Ottoman historiography, environmental historians have tended to work on other geographies of the empire, even mostly on rural areas. Urban historians, on the other hand, treat environmental themes and non-human factors as external to Istanbul's historical making, as events that happened to and in the city. As a result, one of the major findings of the global environmental history, that is the co-constitutive connections between the city and nature, has been largely ignored by the field of Ottoman studies in general and by the students of Istanbul in particular. Without thoroughly analyzing how the city's built and natural environments, quote unquote, were produced in a relational way, we end up with static analysis of city and nature, and fail to conceptualize non-human agency and presence in the making of Ottoman Istanbul. Furthermore, the present-day environmental issues are discussed in a vacuum without being properly historicized. This is true for Istanbul and more so for Pera, the histories of which have been dominated by the nostalgia of assumed cosmopolitanism of the district's 19th century social fabric, as well as by a fascination of its architectural facades. My work focuses on the making of Pera as the city's most prominent commercial and recreational center in the 19th century. But I believe I am justified to call this book an environmental history of late Ottoman Istanbul because the making of Pera meant the transformation of a much wider geography in Istanbul, from the Terkos water basin to Kasımpaşa's open sewers and market gardens. My work not only connects the city's centers to its peripheries, it also unearths the layers of destruction upon which Pera was built, from the fire of 1870 that obliterated most of the district's early modern urban fabric to the cemeteries that were replaced by gated upper-class gardens. In all of these instances, I try to highlight the stories and agencies of non-human actors as a remedy to the culturalist and simplified narratives of modernization that dominated its historiography. During my fellowship, I will write a new chapter on the Great Fire of 1870 as an environmental microhistory, as well as revising my chapters on Pera's water, sewers, cemeteries, and gardens. This will require not only reframing and sharpening my arguments, but also spending lots of time in the archives, which I am very much looking forward to. I am very happy and feel humbled to have the opportunity to work on my book manuscript as an ANAMED postdoctoral fellow, because it was another ANAMED fellowship that enabled me to launch my dissertation research 6 years ago and provided a home for me and my wife when we came to Istanbul from Seattle. While I was still working towards finishing my dissertation, I also served as the head librarian of ANAMED for 2 years and also worked as a consultant for an exhibition in Merkezan, the characters of Yusuf Franco and Ottoman bureaucrats' caricatures. So all of this really feels like a homecoming, and I know that I will cherish every moment of it. Thank you so much.